We're going to go through what I call the 15 steps to being a commercial real estate investor. We're going to learn how to choose our assets. We've talked about all the different assets. You're going to want to kind of figure out which one or ones are the most interesting to you. We're going to learn how to find deals, which in commercial real estate is a little different than in residential real estate. Residential real estate, we buy off market directly from homeowners. In commercial real estate, it's an insider game. Everybody on the buyer side and everybody on the seller side is a real estate investor. And there's a game that you play to get access to deals in the commercial world. And it is working with brokers and establishing credibility. We're going to learn how to underwrite the deals. Underwriting commercial deals is quite a bit more complicated than underwriting residential deals. Why? Because commercial properties are bought and sold like businesses, not just like real estate. We're going to learn how to negotiate and get them under contract. That's also a little more complicated than in residential. In residential, you make an offer and you can terminate the offer. In commercial, you're buying a business as well as a property, so the contracts are quite a bit more complicated. So before getting it under contract, because a contract might be created by an attorney and might be quite complicated, so before getting under contract, we sign what's called a letter of intent. It's a non-binding offer before we make the binding offer, so it's a little more complex and a two-step process. And then finally, in commercial real estate, you're raising money. Usually you're pooling millions of dollars from multiple people. And to do that, you have to learn how to make what we call the pitch. You're going to see examples of the pitch this weekend. The pitch is a presentation you use to present to a bank, to prospective investors, to anybody that might be involved in the deal, to get them to participate in the deal with you. You're going to see commercial real estate, much more than any other type of real estate, is a team sport. You can flip a house by yourself. Probably. You can probably come up with enough money to flip a house. But in commercial, it's a team sport. You need a big group of people to raise millions of dollars from. And the teams that are needed to do the analysis and due diligence and all the different details that need to get done are quite a bit bigger than in residential. Once you get a property under contract, we have something we call the race to close. In a very short amount of time, a tremendous number of things needs to happen. You need to do your due diligence. If you're buying a 150-unit apartment building, you have to inspect 150 apartments. Well, how do you do that? You're not going to get 2 weeks to do that. You're going to get a day or maybe a day and a half to do that. You have to have specialized teams that can run into an apartment and do a complete analysis and inspection in just a few minutes, which you can do if you have the right teams. And they can inspect an 150-unit apartment building in a day or a day and a half. But remember, you're not just buying a building, you're also buying a business. So you have to have people that will audit the books of the business to verify all the income, to verify the expenses, etc. You have to create securities documents to raise money legally from investors. You have to secure the loan, which for commercial loans are multi-million-dollar loans from small local banks. You have to raise capital from investors. And then finally, you have to do all the other stuff that you have to do when you buy real estate, which is all the title work and all the funding and all the closing of the deal. And then, of course, after you buy the real estate, you have to manage the real estate. It's called asset management. Rehab the property, stabilize the property, right? Increase the occupancy, manage the asset, which means manage the overall project of increasing income, reducing expenses, managing the property manager that does the day-to-day management of the property, maintain a relationship with your investors, and then finally at the end, there's an exit strategy where you're going to sell the property or refinance the property or whatever that happens to be.
I'm here sharing my journey with you. How can you become a real estate investor yourself? Without money, without credit, and without a license, because that's exactly how I became a real estate investor myself, because I didn't have enough of that. So I'm here sharing my journey with you because it did transform my life, because I did take action. I did believe, I did network, and surround myself with the right people in the right time. So if you are watching this video and if you wanted to change your life, your lifestyle, your financial situation, regardless of where you come from, regardless of where you're at, this is the time. On the link below, we're going to be posting where you can find all the information that you're going to have for you to start transforming your life today, to come meet me live and my mentors and thousands of other investors as well. And I love for you to come and network with us.